with the big story here, I'm Seher Zama. In the top focus, this is regarding the curious case of the decorated Deputy Superintendent of Police Devendra Singh, who was shockingly arrested because he was ferrying two Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists and a Hizbul worker. He has admitted that he in fact had done this because he received 12 lakh rupees from the terrorists to ferry them to New Delhi. Intelligence sources indicate to Mirror Now that the terrorists had planned to carry out attacks on Republic Day. Sources further add here that when Devendra Singh was interrogated by various intelligence agencies, this includes the IB, the military intelligence and RAW, he disclosed that he put up the terrorists as well. He put them up at his Indiranagar house in Srinagar, which is right next to the Army's 15 Corps headquarters, and thereafter accompanied the terrorists to Jammu in a Maruti car, which was driven by the Hizbul overground worker. We'll get in further details here on this in just a bit, but remember, these are day-to-day updates coming in with ongoing investigations. First being the shocking instance that when he was caught red-handed in ferrying the terrorists across to Jammu, further headed to Delhi. And now the admission comes in that he was also paid about 12 lakh rupees by the terrorists. He'd also put them up at his own home in Srinagar. Further investigations revealed what was the purpose of the terrorists headed to Delhi. Could have been on planning an attack on the Republic Day. These are the inputs that have come in so far, but remember, clarifications that have come in as well, and questions being asked on why he was a decorated officer, on gallantry awards that were given to him. A clarification that has come in from the Jammu and Kashmir police force here on this as well, that he wasn't awarded ever by the police. He was in fact awarded by the administration, which is the previous Jammu and Kashmir State Government of the year 2018 Gallantry Award that was given to him by the previous government. This is the arrested DSP Davinder Singh. From his own admission, he's given out several details. One, that he was paid by the terrorists. Remember, he did this for a price of 12 lakh rupees of ferrying terrorists across passing through Jammu, headed towards Delhi. He not just made an admission to that, also added here that he gave them place to stay, which was his own residence, which was in fact close to the 15 Corps in Srinagar. These are shocking revelations coming in here on this case. Investigations which are still on. Remember, he has been questioned by multiple agencies. This includes the IB, the military intelligence and RAW. He stays right next to the Army's 15 Corps headquarters, where he had put up the terrorists. Now, this will not be difficult to imagine that this was a very high security area, and because it was the Deputy SP's home here, no one raised any suspicion on who these guests at his home were. They were terrorists. We have with us our correspondent Mir Farid getting us further inputs here. Mir, given the fact that this is with day-to-day investigations, but several of these shocking admissions that have come in from Devendra Singh himself.
Well, yes, as expected, during interrogation, he started to sing. He's basically coming out with the details of his engagements, his relations with militants. Now, earlier he had said that in 2018 as well, he had done a similar thing where he had picked up some militants from South Kashmir and delivered them in Jammu. And now, during investigation, he's also said that that's not all. At his residence, which you rightly said is just, in fact, on the other side of the 15 Corps Army headquarters, which is a very sensitive and secure, highly secured zone. He had, in fact, militants as his guests. They stayed there for the night. And we're talking of a Deputy Operational Commander of Hizbul Mujahideen, Naveed Babu, one of the most wanted. So, each passing minute, some new details coming out as far as his interrogation and questioning is concerned. But one thing is quite clear, that he had very close nexus with the Hizbul Mujahideen, with the Lashkar, and it was also about money. But it is very hard to believe that such a police officer would really do it for just 12 lakh rupees. There definitely is more to it than what meets the eye, and that obviously is something that the police want to know. As we have been reporting, he was someone who was famous as far as J&K police is concerned because of his anti-insurgency record operations, and that's why there was a very strong lobby within the police, including an ADG level officer who was trying to protect him. But it seems that the IGP of Kashmir, the DG, put their foot down and said that this nonsense won't be tolerated. He may have brought laurels for the police, but right now he's a terror suspect, and we'll treat him like one. And that's why now multiple agencies are coming into it, and we've been told that NIA will take over the case very soon, and probably for that a notification is already out. So that really tells you they're taking it very seriously, because this could open up Pandora's box. This could just be the tip of the iceberg, and within they want to know more if there are more people existing within the system. Yes, sir.
But with sources indicating here, as you've said, that there was an attempt by other senior officers here to brush this aside, to put this under the carpet, to protect him. Are those officers also being questioned then?
Well, obviously that may also be next, because now since this case is snowballing, this has become a massive issue, and even political angle is coming into it with the Congress statements, and then the NIA now taking it over. They will ask him about his contacts in the police and whether they were privy to his other side of engagement with militants, and that is the most important question. The rest of Devendra Singh, as I said, is just one aspect, but the bigger question for the police and for the law enforcers is to know that whether there are more people like Devendra Singh within the system, because let me tell you, they are more dangerous than the open enemy. Open enemy, you know, he's the enemy, he's the adversary, and you have to fight him. But if you have such people within the system who are playing the dual game, who are really trying to earn blood money, because this is blood money. I mean, these militants may have gone out, and they may have been their radar could have been a Republic Day function, probably in Jammu, or he could have taken them to Delhi. So this is blood money he was earning. So they'll have to know who else is there, who else is shaming the khaki, and then to add to that, the other aspect would be that how could he get unnoticed for all that time? He was given such a sensitive location like this Srinagar airport, which needless to say is one of the most secured and threatened airports in the world, and he was really welcoming dignitaries, envoys, senior officials of the government. He could have really taken these militants into the airport as well and done anything. So there are so many questions around it. It's obviously snowballing into a massive thing, and probably in the coming time we will get to hear more such startling revelations and more connections as far as this nexus is concerned. Sahar?
Undoubtedly shocking revelations, and also having to understand that this was a decorated officer posted at the airport, yet another very sensitive location there in Srinagar. Mir, thank you for getting us those inputs. In other news today, early at the Supreme Court, the curative petitions that were filed by 2 convicts of the Nirbhaya case have been dismissed by the Apex Court. A curative petition, which is the last legal remedy which is available to a convict, and with this order, all the legal options of these 2 convicts, Vinay Sharma and Mukesh, have been exhausted. Curative petitions that were filed after a Delhi court had issued death warrants here for the 4 convicts to be hanged on the 22nd of January, 7 a.m. The court has directed the authorities already at Tihar jail to hang the 4 convicts, but the convicts still have one more option left, which is seeking mercy from the president.
मैम, हमें बताइए आज आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है, क्या महसूस करें इस वक्त आप?
देखिए, हम इंसाफ के एक कदम और आगे बढ़ गए। आज उनकी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जो क्यूरी पिटीशन थी खारिज हो गई, तो वैसे उनके पास अब कोई रेमेडी नहीं बची है, क्योंकि उनको कोर्ट ने बहुत टाइम दिया है, जेल ने 2 बार नोटिस किया है, इन्होंने इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। फाइनली जब इनका डेट वारंट जारी हो गया तो इसको लंबा करने के लिए इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट में
15 मिनट इन चेंबर सुनवाई किया 5 जजेस ने, और बिल्कुल उन्होंने कोई मतलब हेजिटेशन नहीं किया, और जल्द से जल्द उन्होंने फैसला सुना दिया है,
क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये तीसरी बार आए हैं
जी।
जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इनके अपील पे सुनवाई चल रही थी, 10 महीने सुनवाई चली है, हफ्ते में 2 दिन 3 दिन सुनवाई चली है, तो कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने या हाई कोर्ट के सामने पूरी केस ये शीशे की तरह साफ है जी। तो मुझे उम्मीद था कि जो भी इनकी पटिशन है खारिज होगी।
आज क्या महसूस कर रही हैं आप?
देखिए, अभी भी संघर्ष बाकी है। आप ही कह रहे हैं कि नहीं वो राष्ट्रपति के पास जाएंगे, तो मैं 22 तारीख तक, जब तक ये नहीं लटकेंगे तब तक मैं संघर्ष करूंगी।
Meanwhile, the advocate AP Singh, who is the counsel for these two convicts, has said that their next course of action will be decided after looking at the copy of the judgment.
हमारे पास लीगल रेमेडीज, हम क्लाइंट से बात करेंगे, हमें जजमेंट मिलने दिया जाए, जजमेंट देंगे और उसके बाद हम उसमें देखेंगे, क्योंकि हमने अभी भी विनय शर्मा के अभी हमने विनय शर्मा के जो जिसकी डिसमिस हुई है क्यूरेटिव पिटीशन, हमने उसके लिए जेल से डॉक्यूमेंट मांगे हैं। हमने 8 तारीख को भी जेल में यहाँ पटियाला हाउस कोर्ट में एप्लीकेशन देके कोर्ट मांगे। मैं 10 तारीख को तिहाड़ जेल की दोनों जेलों में मिला, वहाँ हमने डॉक्यूमेंट मांगे, अभी नहीं दिया। और 13 तारीख को पटियाला हाउस की स्पेशल कोर्ट में हमने एप्लीकेशन लगा के विनय शर्मा, पवन कुमार और अक्षय के डॉक्यूमेंट मांगे हैं।
Our deputy news editor Meenakshi Bhanja getting us those inputs here. Meenakshi, given the fact that this was shot down by the Supreme Court in 15 minutes flat, is there a sense that the other two convicts would be also putting in a curative?
Well, sir, yes, they may try their luck to delay the proceedings furthermore by putting in a curative. As a matter of fact, AP Singh there now citing the ground that he's awaiting the copy of the curative dismissal order. It's a one-page document really, which, we were able to showcase to him because he was very much present earlier in the Supreme Court lawns. But the message from the Supreme Court is very clear. You may try to prolong the process, but the Supreme Court is very cognizant and sensitive to the fact that it will certainly not allow the frustration of the process to happen, and that is why we saw this 15-minute in-chamber consideration of a curative, and in no uncertain terms the Supreme Court making it clear this is not a fit case for curative, because remember, what is a curative? A curative is essentially a plea which seeks to correct irremediable harm that may have taken place as a result of the past judgment of the Supreme Court. This is a power which is very, very limited to begin with, and therefore today's orders is a very, very clear sign to all the other, to also, if they wish to explore this remedy in law, that if they are looking to stall the process, the Supreme Court, while respecting the constitutional mandate to allow the process, will also ensure that the process is not stretched beyond a certain point in time.
That's right. Meenakshi, many thanks. Many thanks for getting us those details here. This could perhaps not be stretched any longer. There would be fast decisions here in the last leg of this journey now. In other news, this is with respect to a massive water theft scam that has been unearthed only now, 17 years later, in Mumbai. In 2002, an illegal water pipeline that was built on the land of the Mumbai Port Trust. Since then, water has been sold illegally to people at higher rates for washing boats. According to the Mumbai Civic Body, officers of the hydraulic department were also involved in this. And this was about a scam which is amounting to 680 crore rupees. The Mumbai Civic Body Commissioner, BMC Chief Praveen Pradeshi, has now ordered a probe, has sought a report on this in 1 week's time.
आज 17 साल के बाद में जब दूसरा कनेक्शन रिलीज करने को इन्होंने दे दिया वहाँ पर, तो जब वो काम चल रहा तब मैंने जाके वो देख लिया और तब मुझे पता चला कि ये दूसरी लाइन में वहाँ है। और ये मामला हम तो सोच रहे हैं कि शायद हो सके तो हम एंटी करप्शन ब्यूरो या तो क्राइम में इसको क्रिमिनल इंक्वायरी के लिए पुटअप करेंगे।
It is a collusion between the officials and the private contractors. In this particular case, which was discussed in the House 2 days back, ultimately this revenue should have come to the coffers of the BMC, but it has gone to the contractors and to some officials because they were directly handling with the contractors of giving such a big water pipeline, and whereby that water pipeline was given to some private individual, and they were selling at the higher cost by making 4 lakh or 5 lakh rupees per day.
This is the water pipeline which was built illegally way back in 2002 by one of the BPT, that's Bombay Port Trust licensee, along with the help of few BMC Water Department officers. It's been 17 long years and this water pipeline, which was built illegal, is still in existence. You can see that how this water pipeline is connected to one of the ship where they actually take water, they load the water in these ships and they pass it on to the bigger ships, the huge ships that you see here at the Bombay Port Trust, for washing boats, for cleaning ships and also for drinking water purposes. What BMC claims, this is the water theft scam that they have unearthed in the last couple of days. It has caused a revenue loss of 680 crore rupees is what BMC claims in the last 17 years. If it's a legal connection, BMC charges 30 rupees for 1,000 litres of water. But what, according to the BMC, these BPT licenses did is they charged to BMC 30 rupees, but they used to sell it for 450 rupees for 1,000 litres of water. And this pipeline that you see is still in existence for the last 17 years. And that is why BMC claims this is the amount that they have lost. This is the taxpayers' money that the BMC has lost in the last 17 years.
In just about over 3 months after the RBI had placed restrictions on Mumbai-based PMC Bank, it's taken a similar decision for another bank. These are restrictions that have been placed on the Bengaluru-based Sri Guru Raghavendra Sahakara Bank. The RBI has restricted the bank from carrying out business till further notice. And customers, depositors of the bank also have a cap on withdrawal, which is only 35,000 rupees for the next 6 months. The RBI says it has restricted this bank from issuing new loans to making any new investments until its financial situation improves. According to the bank, there are close to 62 loans locked up in about 300 to 350 crore rupees of deposit of the past 3 months. And because of these dud loans, the RBI has put these restrictions.
From next month, they have said they are not going to pay interest. We are all senior citizens. I am 70 years old. So my livelihood will be of this, all this due to the interest. When the interest is not there, where we should go? They said RBI has put a restriction. What we are doing, they were sleeping so many days.
Most of the senior citizens are involved here. So those who are earning the bread from this interest only. So now it is 35 is locked on there. How can you manage it? There is also a problem.
All right.
And another one thing is, my question is, how that RBI is allowed these people to give the 15% of dividend?
These are real problems, survival issues that would be faced by the bank customers and depositors, given most of them are retired, dependent on what they were getting on a monthly basis of their savings. We have with us our correspondent Srija getting us those details here. Srija, we've seen the kind of suffering this has caused as far as the PMC bank depositors is concerned, but this is a strikingly similar scenario for depositors of this bank as well. Has the RBI indicated when there could be relief at sight, or is this an interminable delay and access to their own savings?
Well, Sahar, for the last 2 days, we've been seeing a commotion, especially right before the Sri Guru Raghavendra Sahakara banks. Now, remember, there are about 9 branches as far as Bengaluru goes. Now, this is a city-run bank, what we are looking at, and there are over 30,000 customers, including some of the members that we are talking about. And they have been, as far as the RBI directives are concerned, they have been instructed not to withdraw not more than 35,000 rupees. Now, remember, that is the capping which has been given by the RBI, which means for the next 6 months. But over the last 2 days, including today, this morning, early this morning as well, we saw how the customers had come out and also staged protests right before the banks, also saying that this has been, in fact, really harsh on the customers because the customers were completely kept in the dark. Now, remember, this entire directive coming in from RBI was issued to the bank on January 2nd, but it was only on January 10th, especially the customers came to know of the entire directive where they were not supposed to withdraw not more than 35,000 rupees. Now, what we also hear from some of the customers, including the bank officials, what they say is that just a couple of hours ago, they had a meeting with the RBI officials, and they say in the next 2 or 3 days, they will review this entire directive which has been given to the bank, and they will see whether the withdrawal limit can be increased or not. The only reason why we see the RBI, the central bank, had brought in this instruction as far as the Sri Guru Raghavendra Sahakara bank is concerned, we see already 62 of the assets were non-performing, declared as non-performing assets, which means they had given out nearly 1,850 crore rupees dispersed as loans. But however, the bank failed to recover nearly 350 crore rupees as loan. Now, that is the reason why we understand over the last 3 months, especially these were the non-performing assets, why that is the reason why we understand the central bank had to come up with such a directive. Back to you.
Srija, many thanks for getting us those inputs here. But there's a word of assurance that's come in from the BJP MP of the city, Tejasvi Surya, assuring customers of the bank that the government is keen to resolve this issue and to protect the interest of the depositors. Take a listen in.
The government is keen on resolving this issue in an amicable manner, and at this point in time I can assure all of you that we will do whatever it is necessary to protect the interests of every single depositor. This bank has a large number of senior citizens as its depositors. In that sense, the government is even more keen, and I must at this juncture express my gratitude to Honorable Finance Minister. The last 2 days, she has spoken to me multiple times, more than 7-8 times in substantial length, explaining to me the details of the matter, and she has assured me multiple times that she is personally monitoring it and she will do everything in her capacity to protect the interests of the stakeholders.
In other news, the Railway Police Force, the RPF, has dismissed their own RPF constable because he's accused of raping a male cab driver in Mumbai. 11th of January, a 29-year-old drunk RPF cop allegedly raped a cab driver on the railway premises, which is near the CSMT station. The accused asked the driver to take him to a red light area in South Mumbai. When he refused, the constable then hit him with a stick and empty beer bottles. He then dragged the cab driver to the corner of the railway premises and then raped him. He later fled the spot, but not before robbing the victim, the cab driver here, of his money and cab keys. The constable now is in judicial custody till the 20th of January.
आरपीएफ गेट कर्नाटक बंदर के पास बीटी मेल रोड पे जो फिरियादी हैं उनकी मोटर टैक्सी MH01 BO 4719 ये आरोपी ने ज़बरदस्ती अटकाई, उन्हें रोका और उनको गाली गलौज और मारपीट किया। 850 रुपये ज़बरदस्ती से निकाले। उसके बाद उन्हें उनके साथ अनैसर्गिक कृत्य किया और 2000 रुपए की मांगनी की।
Of course, being a horrifying case, bringing much shame to the RPF, but action that has been taken against him with further investigations. Our correspondent Disha is getting us those inputs here. Disha, in the course of these investigations, the victim has also said that he had asked for help to other railway police officers as well, who didn't intervene.
Well, certainly, sir, this horrific crime, the assault which went on for nearly 2.5 hours on Sunday night, what we understand now, the police, especially the MRMR police officials, they are tracking several things at the moment. Firstly, CCTV footage in and around the accident spot is what we understand, if at all, if they capture any of it. And secondly, the victim also spoke about few of the railway platform police officers. He had asked for help, but the officers only gave the accused some warning and let him go off. So who were those officers? Why they did not really raise an alarm in such a manner? All of this is being investigated as we speak. On one hand, the accused has been sent to the judicial custody by 20th of January, but further investigations are underway, Sahib.
Okay. Disha, thanks for getting us those inputs. And with that, it is a wrap on the big story. Thanks for being with us.